3. Okay.
Alright, hi, my name is Kenneth, and today we'll be talking about post-traumatic stress disorder and its effects on different people. Well, the connection between my information and the stimulus, well, I was able to use the article about predator-induced fear, how predator-induced fear causes PTSD-like changes in the brains and behavior of wild animals. Alright, so this is a real problem that must be addressed with the seriousness that it deserves. According to Brown University, in 2021, research found that 30,177 service active duty military personnel and veterans who served since 9/11 have died by suicide, compared to the 7,057 service members killed in combat in those same 10 years. These are astonishing numbers that show how important this issue is. However, what is PTSD? Well, PTSD, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, is a disorder that develops in some people who have experienced a shocking, scary, or dangerous situation. People with PTSD may face problems like depression, feelings of loneliness, and self-destructive behavior that usually leads to suicide as a consequence of psychological trauma and PTSD. So what is my mission? Well, I would like to fight against misinformation and inform the public about what PTSD really is and its consequences. This will be my argument, and it will be PTSD and the psychological effects of experiencing a traumatic event are not receiving enough attention and importance. Well, today I will be exploring the perspective of veterans, women, and children who have experienced a traumatic event or have PTSD. Well, the biggest group of PTSD victims are veterans, especially those who have experienced combat or any other dangerous situation during deployment. Veterans with PTSD are more likely to have depression, commit suicide, and they have higher levels of alcohol and drug abuse. Well, according to an article in the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, in a sample of 2,157 U.S. veterans, the prevalence of lifetime acute PTSD was about 8%, and it was correlated to several psychological disorders. Sadly, veterans are not the only victims of PTSD, as PTSD is common among women who have been sexually assaulted or have been victims of domestic abuse or any kind of violence. On this topic, research done by the McGill University Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences showed that the lifetime prevalence of PTSD for women who have been sexually assaulted is about 50%. Moreover, sexual assault is the most frequent cause of PTSD symptoms during the first 2 weeks after an assault. Also, lastly, I would like to expose an often overlooked topic, and that is how PTSD affects children. Well, post-traumatic stress disorder damages the right development of children. There is an alarming number of children who are still developing and they live in a violent or dangerous household. According to psychologist Catherine, she explains how research suggests that children who have experienced traumatic stress are more likely to have problems developing normal school skills and developing normally. However, with that being said, there's still some people who believe that PTSD is a sign of weakness or cowardice. This is misinformation. Misinformation that often leads to prejudice against against especially, but not only veterans and active duty personnel who suffer from PTSD. I would like to make clear that PTSD does not make anyone a coward or weak. That is misinformation. Solutions. Well, there's much that can be done to revert the situation. For example, giving a specific, professional, and free mental and physical care to victims of PTSD. Also, raising awareness with the general public about PTSD and its consequences on human psychology. Some drawbacks to the solutions may be the cost of these operations and how this topic is not very attractive to the general public. However, we as a society must deal with this issue. I would like to conclude with 3 main points. The first one will be post-traumatic stress disorder is not limited by age, occupation, or gender. Anyone who experiences a dangerous, extreme, or traumatic event may suffer from it. The second one will be, it's important to emphasize how PTSD is a real and serious disorder with real consequences that kills people. Lastly, action is needed in order to give proper physical and mental care to the victims of PTSD. Those will be my sources, and thank you for listening.